guys, welcome to the Green Ridge. I'm very excited to bring this next video to you. Please, if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I'm gonna give you a brief moment, click the subscribe button, and make sure you share and like this video if you enjoy it. I'm bringing this video to everyone that has watched my previous videos about the tier 2 expenses and they are thinking, oh, I need to shrink my tier 2 expenses. Anyone interested in going on their debt-free journey and anyone who's just curious about how to basically get it done. So this video is brought to you about the snowball effect. This principle really helped with tackling the debt. So like once you've made up your mind or you haven't, or you're just trying to get more information that you want to pay off a lot of your consumer debt tier 2 expenses. If you have not seen that video, make sure you check it out on my page. Once you decide that you want to pay those off, you need to come up with a plan. So the plan is the snowball effect. So what is the snowball effect? The snowball effect basically says that you pay the smallest portion of your loan off the fastest. And then once you've paid it off, you take the payment and you use that money to pay off the next smallest loan on your line of debt as quickly as possible. Again, so let's say you have 5 credit cards, you basically pay off the smallest credit card first, and when you are done paying off that credit card first, you take the payment amount and you now use that to pay off the next smallest credit card. And that's basically the snowball effect. When I think of the snowball effect, the imagery that comes to mind is the cartoon rendition of a snowball like rolling down the mountain. And that's really what it really is, why it has very similar naming. And it's very effective because there are psychological benefits of practicing the snowball effect. I know people who are very big on interest are going to be like, but I have to pay off the one that has the most interest first. I have to do that first. And the truth is, as humans, we love to be rewarded. We love forms of reinforcement. And if you ever try to think about it, if you've ever tried to kind of get something done and you feel like overwhelmed and you put down a to-do list, you get more incentivized the moment you're checking off your to-do list. If you're that type of person, the snowball effect is really good for you. Overall, when you're tackling something little by little, it's easier for you to feel motivated than when you feel like, oh my gosh, I can never get to the end of this. But these small victories psychologically really empowers you to complete larger tasks or complete larger things. This is why the snowball effect is very effective. I would like to say that there's no such thing as good debt, but I will categorize debt. So the first category is debt doesn't appreciate but is growing. Think about your student loans. I know the payments I've restarted and that is growing. Also, like credit cards are also an example of these types of debt. And then in that first category, there's also the debt that depreciates and interest is still growing. Think about like your car payments. Cars depreciate over time, but your interest on your card is still growing if you're paying over a course of like a period of time. And then the second category of debt are debts that actually appreciate and the interest is growing. So in this situation, you're thinking of like your mortgage and you're thinking of your business debt because you're bringing in income. These debts are not necessarily bad, but they're not necessarily good either. Like the goal is to pay them off as soon as possible. And so these are the 2 categories of debt. And we're going to be focusing on the first category because this category tends to be in our tier 2 expenses. And the goal with the tier 2 expenses, again, if you haven't watched the video, you should check it out, is we want to shrink them as much as possible so that we can create room for tier 3 expenses, which is for enjoyment, saving, living our best lives, whatever your tier 3 wants are. So we're trying to shave off tier 2 as much as possible, shrink it to where it's non-existent. And so the snowball effect is a really cool tool to help you with that. I'm going to show you how the snowball effect works so that I can visualize it for you, and hopefully that helps. So think of a scenario where you have 5 credit cards and you have a minimum payment on all cards that's $50, and you have $50 additional that you can put every month. And so on each credit card, the minimum balance is $100 on this card, $200 on the second card, $300 on the third card, $400, and then $500 on the fifth card. And every month you pay the minimum balance for each one. So now in the first month you have $50 left on this card, you have $150 left on the second, $250 left on the third, $350 left on the fourth, and $450 left on the fifth. And then you include this additional $50 that you have to pay on the smallest debt to pay off this $50. So now you have a balance of $0, right? So you have a balance of $0 on the first card. Paying off the first card frees up this $50 minimum payment that you would have to make. So now your additional amount goes up by 100. So this amount becomes 100 every month that you can put towards your debt. And the second card becomes the lowest balance that you have. So let's say in the second month you decide to pay off the minimum balance on each card. So now if you pay off the minimum balance of 50, the second card has the 100 balance on it, the third card has 200, fourth card has 300, the fifth card has 400. And now, because you have this additional $100 to put on, you're gonna put it on the lowest balance being the second card, and you end up paying off the second card. So now you freed up another $50. And so this additional amount you have to put on your loan every month now becomes $150. So now the third card becomes the lowest loan that you have. And so in month 3, when you're paying off the minimum balance in month 3, the third card balance would be $150, fourth card would be $250, fifth card would be $350, and then you have $150 additional you can put on the lowest balance, which is the balance on the third card, and this actually pays off the third card. This essentially is the snowball method. You're rolling the payment of the lowest card that you paid off into the next payment. And so if we continue with the snowball method here, we would only have one card left to pay, and we would end up paying off that card as fast as possible as we free up the other cards. So this is a short example of the snowball method. I hope that this was very, very helpful for you. That being said, I've left a free tool down below on the link. You can click it. This is really just to give you a full picture of your current loans. I've put a whole variety of columns, including interest rates, fees, loans. I have your minimum balance on the spreadsheet, and it kind of gives you a big picture. You can also then organize it from lowest to smallest, and then come up with your own strategy about how you want to tackle it by deciding how much additional every month you'd want to put on the smallest loan, and then work your way down from there. If you find this really helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, and also like and comment and share this with your friends. And if you have questions about the spreadsheet, about this video, leave it in the comment below. I'm happy to answer them. And if you really want to contact me by email because you just want me to interact with you on email, you can contact me at theinfo.thegreenbridge@gmail.com. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next.